Hi, I'm Kelly from Kelly Jones Jewellery. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cute ring. So this one's made with just beads today. I've put a list of everything you'll need in the description below. So let's get started. To make this ring you'll need 0.8mm wire, which is 20 gauge, and I've cut 3 lengths at 9 inches, which is 23 centimetres. You'll need 0.315mm weaving wire, which is 28 gauge. I've wound about 1.5 meters, and I've wound it onto this little bobbin. So this just holds the wire. You reel it out and you have this down by your side, and it makes it easier with working with the longer lengths of weaving wire. So this is a Bobeeze bobbin by Beadsmith. That's the 25mm unweighted. I just find it easier using these, but if you don't have one, don't worry, you can just cut shorter lengths as you go. So I've got 3 beads here today using a bit of white jade. I've got 2 4mm beads and 1 8mm bead. So you can use really any size you like, and then just adjust the shapes to suit your beads, you know, the size of your shapes to suit your beads. What else have I got? So pliers, round nose pliers, wire cutters, nylon pliers. If you don't have nylon pliers, don't worry. I just like having these handy for flattening the weaves, straightening the wires, this and that. They're just nice to have there. But if you don't have them, don't worry. The middle to start with, and we'll weave last. That's the plan. Find the middle of one of your base wires, and we're just going to bend it around. I did think about bending it around bail pliers to get that nice scoop shape, but in the end I thought we'll just go by eye. But if you want to use your bail pliers, feel free. So we're just making a loop, and we need it bigger than your bead because we're going to have another wire inside of there, or two wires. So we need to be able to fit 2 wires inside of there and your bead, so you need it quite big. Gracie's snoring already. I'm going to go just a little bit bigger just in case, because we don't want it too tight. We don't want to not fit the bead in there. So you want about that size. And we're going to grip the wire. Imagine a half circle. We're going to grip the wire. We're going to bend it out to the side. And on the other side. So it's all very much adjustable. We can change it all in a moment. We can always adjust this shape later. And you want that bigger than your bead. So we're going to do 2 more shapes, and they're going to go inside of this shape. So they need to be a little bit smaller than that. So we'll keep comparing to that. Take another base wire, find the centre, and again we're going to bend it around. So again, you want it bigger than your bead, smaller than your shape. We'll aim to fit inside of that shape there. So that's perfect. So just bend your loop around and adjust it to fit nice and snug inside of that shape so the wires meet. So we're going to do the same again. What we'll do actually, just to make it a bit easier to hold, where the wires cross, bend them out. And then because we're going to shape the bottom of this in a moment, that will shape around the bead. We just want to be able to weave across those 2 wires for now. So take your inner wire and we'll wrap 3 times. So take your inner wire and your weaving wire and then slide your wraps along. Okay, I'm being awkward. My wraps are going to slide them all the way along to here. And we're going to attach to that piece that we made just. If you're not working behind a camera, then it's much easier. So we'll wrap around the whole thing a couple of times. And then just the inner wire. A couple of times. And I am going to add a 3rd wire in there. So it's probably best to add that now. And we can add that to the weave. Take your 3rd base wire, find the centre. We're going to bend that wire around 2. Now this wire needs to go around the bead, inside the shape. So it's going to be smaller than the other ones, but big enough to fit the bead into. Just going to attach the bead to this wire. So we've got 3 wires, all nice and snug. And again with this one, whoop, just pull the wires out where they cross for now, and we'll deal with those in a bit. So turn it back around, pop the middle wire in there, and I know what you're thinking, why not just weave along straight wires and then bend them around? You can do that if you want to. I just thought it would shape them nicer this way. Do it however you want to. If you want to do that, give it a go, let me know. Let me know if that works easier. So we're just going to attach these wires together. I'm going to go around the outer 2, come up between those outer 2, go around the inner 2, come down, go around the outer 2, and do that again around the inner 2. And then I'm going to wrap around the inner wire a few times. So now I'm going to repeat those weaves on this side just to attach it together on this side. Then we can attach the bead. So I'm going to do this bit first, around the 2 top wires, around the 2 bottom wires, come up between those 2, around the 2 top wires, around the 2 bottom wires, and then we've got 3 wraps around the middle wire. Please mention me when sharing your finished work. Please don't share images of the back, as it gives my little design secrets away. You can send people here if they want to make it. So then we've had the 3 wraps there, then we go 2 around the top ones. that, and then 3 around the middle one. Like that, and try and press your weave together as you go. And I want that quite central, so I'm going to slide that around a little bit. We can cut that wire from the beginning. Press down that little cut end. This wire comes up between the inner 2 wires. Oh, hold on. Which way have I gone? I can't do that, can I? So I'm going to have to go over the 2 and then come up between. So now I'm going to pop the bead in the middle, so make sure your bead fits. I'm going to cut my weaving wire at about, what's that, about 10 inches. And I'm going to thread the big bead onto my weaving wire. So I've just gone through the bead and now I'm attaching it to the other side. So I'll wrap it around the inner wire, 2 wires, and the inner wire again. So I'd thread it back through the bead. I could do with attaching on this side now. So I'll just go around the inner wire. I'll come around the outer wire just to secure that in there. Just need to finish off that really. Cut that wire. Right, we didn't need that much, so I'm going to say you need about 6 inches. You don't need that much weaving wire. Press down your little cut end. Just want to level it up really. Push all your weave together. So we're looking at the middle wire on the right side, and I'm going to grip it about there, and I'm going to bend it completely up like that, and then I'm going to squeeze that bend flat. Again, if you're not in front of a camera, you should have a bit more space. Be a bit easier for you. So I shaped it in a little bit because it started sticking out this way and I want it to shape around the bead a little. Then I'm having it come up and over. And it's going to come over the side here. And we'll match the other side before we do anything else with that wire. Wow, it's dark in here today. Nope, I bent the wrong wire. So I've straightened it back out. I've got a few marks. We're taking this wire. So we want the middle one. And you want to grip it a little bit further down. Because as you bend it up, you do lose a bit of length in that bend. We're going to bend the wire up. That's better. And then we want to squeeze that a little. And then bend it back in if you bend it out. Then looking at the shape of the other one, what's going on now? Scoop around like that. Okay, we're winning. Next we're going to shape those inner wires. That inner wire, lower down. We're going to bend it over, completely flat. Squeeze it a little bit. And then we're going to pull it to the top of the wire, comes over the bottom of the bead. The top of the wire comes over the bead. The back of the wire shapes around the bead, like that. And then this wire is going to scoop over and down, and then it's going to go around and up, like that. So I want this shape to be more circular really. So I want it to come down here and go up here. You can see where this is going. I'm going to pop my other bead on that middle wire there. And these two wires will go around it. And we need to match up this side. Guessing the height of this one. So it's there. But we need to move along a bit because bending the wire does take the length. We're going to bend it over. Squeeze it a little bit. Bring it over the wire. The front comes over, but the back has to still shape around the bead. So these wires come around the bead and those wires come over. Just cupping the bottom of the bead there. It scoops around and down. So then we need to match up this shape and bend it back up next to it. So shape that wire, level it up, and it'll be a bit easier to do once we've got those other beads on. So pop your smaller bead onto that middle wire. And the other side. So try and get your middle wires quite central, and then these come around the bead so you can get them nice and snug now. And take that around that centre wire. But the bottom wire, we'll bring that up and level that out. And then we want to level that top wire out as well. So squeeze it so it cups that wire nicely. And we'll do the same to the other side. I might change that. But yeah, keep that. We'll do that to the other side. In the other side, make sure your middle wires are nice and central. And then take that wire around the bead so it's the same as this one. It's on the top here. And give that a little squeeze around the wire. And then the bottom wire comes up. Again, make sure it's all central and how you want it to be. And then we're going to grip that wire, bend it straight, and then I'll show you because I know I'm off the camera. Bend it straight and bring it in. Got a little bit of a wobble in my wire there, so it should be the same. And if you're fussy like me, just take a minute just to make sure it's all nice and level. We need to weave across 3 wires, so we need this top wire to be the same height as the other wires. So I've just bent that down so I can weave across the 3. So make sure you've squeezed around that wire there, and then grip that wire close to the other base wire, bend it down. So you've got them next to each other, and we can weave and just finish that ring, and then it'll be adjustable. So take your weaving wire, wrap around the middle wire, for the band I think we'll just go around the top 2, bottom 2 wires. So wrap around the middle one 3 times. Not having much luck, am I, today? Wrap around your middle wire 3 times. We'll go around the bottom 2, come up between the bottom 2, we'll go around the top 2. Around the bottom 2, come up between, and around the top 2, and we'll just repeat that to make our band. So I've repeated that weave, and we need to work out how long that weave needs to be, and that depends on the length of your band. I want to wrap around the middle wire just to hold that there. So I'm going to do the weave on the other side, bring all the wires together, and we can work out how long this band needs to be. Really need to compress your weave together. We do the same. I'm going to leave some length on that wire in case I need to add some more weave repeats. But I'm just going to do that same weave across this side now. So I'll wrap 3 times around the middle wire, and then once around the top, once around the bottom, and I'll try and do roughly the same length as that side. So I've done that weave on that side, so mine is roughly 2.5 centimetres is what I've done. Flatten that down a bit. Make sure it's all really pressed together. I've finished it with a wrap around the middle just to hold it there while I decide if I need to add or take more weave. So we need to bend this around a mandrel now. I forgot to mention that you're going to need a mandrel. As we bend it around, these wires here are going to move. I can cut that off. So we can cut off these little bits from the beginning of the weave. As we bend it around, this bit here is going to move, I reckon. It might not bend round at all yet, we'll have to see. So if you position your bead centrally and just gently try and persuade that weave around. Got another beginning of a weave. There, cut that wire. And then we're going to bring it around the mandrel. We're just trying not to destroy the shape too much, because I know it's going to pull away at the front there. So as we bend it around, we need to keep flattening that back so it goes over that bead. But take your time, shape it around to your ring size. So I've shaped mine around and then pressed it around the mandrel. I had to press these two wires back a bit because as you bend it around they tend to lean forward. Also, one of my bands came down instead of going level, so I've adjusted that. And then my bands cross. I didn't want them to cross, I wanted them to come up to and meet. If you want to make it really adjustable so you can fit on really big sizes and really small sizes, then you could have it so it crosses. And just finish with 3 wraps around the middle wire and we'll finish those wires. I'm going to take off a little bit of weave on both sides because I want my wires to come up to each other. So finish off your weaves, get the weaves to the length that you want them, finish them off with 3 wraps around the middle wire. So I've reduced my weaves, cut your wires, press down your little cut ends, and we'll finish those. So I'm just going to bend these wires over quite close to the end of the weave, so really push that weave down so it's really compressed, nice and tidy. And then we're going to cut these wires. I'm going to do little tiny curls on the ends. And I'm going to do 2, the outer one's a little bit shorter, the middle one a bit longer. And I'll do that with these as well. And then we're just going to curl those wires over, so with your round nose, grab the tip and you want to bend it over into a tight curl, but you want the wire to meet underneath so you haven't got a sharp bit. Match those two up so they're the same height, and they really do need to press into the weave so they don't scratch or cause any problems. And then that one just goes in and it ends just a little bit bigger. That's too long. And make sure they're all pressed down into the weave, and I'll do the same to the other side. So I've done the other side too. So check over your wire shapes, and I just need to run and oxidise mine. So there we have it, finished. I've oxidised mine. If you'd like help oxidising yours, I did a video on tools up my sleeve, a video on oxidising and aftercare. I'll put links in the description below. So I hope you found this tutorial easy to follow. I hope you're having fun with the rings that I've been making. I am going through a bit of a fad and there will be more rings to come, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.